Bolo. Hey soul makers. Welcome back to the channel. Today's story is all about rediscovering yourself, taking chances, and finding love in the most unexpected places. It's called The Unexpected Run, a story of rekindled spirit. So, grab a cup of tea, cuddle up, and let's dive in. The Greyhound and the Pug. Margaret, a widow, watched her daughter, Jenny, zip through life like a sleek greyhound. Jenny, a runner, thrived on challenges, leaving Margaret slightly overweight and out of shape, feeling like the family pug. Their separate lives rarely intertwined, except for the occasional dinner date when Jenny's college boyfriend was busy. One Saturday, Jenny needed Margaret to watch Bolo, her fiancé's playful yet mischievous dog. Be sure to get his leash on him before you open the door, Jenny warned. Bolo means, be on the lookout for. Of course, the only thing Margaret looked out for was a relaxing afternoon. The wild chase. Margaret fumbled with the leash, her rusty reflexes betraying her. It snagged on Bolo's fur instead of his collar, and in a flash, he was gone. A brown blur torpedoing towards the park. A surge of adrenaline surged through Margaret's body, jolting her out of her comfortable routine. Gasping for breath, she chased after him, feeling years younger than her 40-something self. The park, once a familiar backdrop, now stretched before her like a vast, unexplored landscape. Laughter bubbled up amidst the exertion as a young boy on a bike. And then a middle-aged man pushing a lawnmower joined the pursuit, creating a hilarious scene of three unlikely heroes chasing a runaway dog. By the lake. Finally, they caught Bolo by the lake. David, a kind man with a twinkle in his eye and a passion for running, held him steady while the boy retrieved the leash. Relief washed over Margaret, but a different kind of spark ignited within her. David mentioned Jenny's positive spirit and his admiration for Margaret's dedication to watching Bolo. He spoke of his love for the park, its hidden walking paths, and the quirky characters who frequented its benches. With each shared detail, Margaret felt a layer of her own history being gently unearthed. It was as if the park, once a backdrop to her routine, held a hidden world waiting to be explored. A new rhythm. Days turned into weeks, and Margaret's routine shifted. Daily walks with Bolo became a chance to chat with David, their conversations flowing easily. He shared stories of hidden paths and quirky park characters, while Margaret rediscovered her own forgotten history. One day, a young girl struggled with a kite. David chuckled, "Looks like we have another rescue mission on our hands, Margaret." In that moment, Margaret saw a chance to connect with the joy she once felt chasing after a young Jenny. Rediscovering the Spark. Together, they coaxed the kite into the sky, a vibrant splash of color against the blue canvas. The girl's face lit up with a grin as it soared higher, her earlier frustration forgotten. Witnessing this pure joy reignited a forgotten spark within Margaret. It wasn't about emulating Jenny's achievements, but about carving her own path and rediscovering the simple joys of connection, both with a child and with a newfound friend in David. He, sensing the shift in her spirit, hesitantly asked about a charity 5K run happening next month at the park. Training days. The thought of a challenge ignited a fire within Margaret. Walks morphed into light jogs, her body growing stronger with each passing day. The park, once a backdrop, transformed into a playground for rediscovering her youthful spirit. Gone were the days of feeling invisible next to Jenny's boundless energy. Now, Margaret felt a sense of purpose. A reawakening of the adventurous spirit that had laid dormant for far too long. The finish line. On a crisp morning, Margaret stood at the starting line of the 5K, her heart pounding. Beside her, David offered a supportive smile. Jenny and Lonnie, with wide smiles, cheered them on. The whistle blew, and Margaret took off. It wasn't a race against anyone but herself, a race against a life that felt stagnant. Each stride pushed her forward, a testament to her newfound resolve. A new chapter. Crossing the finish line, Margaret was exhilarated and exhausted. David, close behind, offered a hand of support. As the cheers faded, he looked into her eyes with a tender smile. "Margaret, would you like to join me for dinner sometime? A real date?" A blush crept across Margaret's face. This unexpected connection filled her with a giddy excitement. "I'd love to," she replied. Soulmakers. That's the story of Margaret's unexpected journey of rediscovering herself. It's a reminder that life holds surprises at every corner, even for those who feel stuck in their routines.